Hi, this is Lida, one of the Senior Education Consultants of the AECC Global Melbourne office. Today, it's all about Kaplan Business School Australia. As we know that they are globally recognized provider of higher education degrees and offer undergraduate and postgraduate courses in business, accounting, marketing, management, and so forth. I guess the best person who will discuss further regarding all those courses and updates will be Neha, the Regional Manager in South Asia Kaplan Business School. Hi Neha, how are you? And how's working from home for almost 6 months, right?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Yes, it is. It's the new normal, I guess, working from home. I've had the opportunity to kind of get out and about a little bit, so not too bad. But yeah, I guess we're all just getting used to it.
Okay, thank you so much for being here today. For the benefit of our viewers, I prepared questions that will help and enlighten them about Kaplan Business School. So, can we start now?
Absolutely.
Okay, may I ask, what is the commencement date for T3 intake and any updates on T3 teaching and delivery?
Sure. So our the upcoming intake is in November, as you mentioned. And the orientation week is going to be 11th November. So that week is going to be orientation week. And then classes will start usually the Monday after orientation week. And so we do have a little bit of time for any students that are interested. In terms of the delivery, it will pretty much be what we offered in July. So we did offer face-to-face as well as online options for students because we have 5 campuses across Australia. So obviously, depending on where the student is based, for instance, one of our campuses is Melbourne, and because of the situation over there, it had to be completely online. But even in other states, keeping in mind, the social distancing mandate, we did offer students the option that you can, sort of come into campus and study as well. We will limit the number of students in the class, or you can opt for online. And so that's pretty much going to be what we offer in T3 as well. We will leave it up to the student to choose whichever mode they prefer to study in.
Okay, noted on that. For new students wanting to apply for T3, what are the most popular courses available and why T3 a good option to consider?
I think the most popular courses at Kaplan Business School would definitely be, the first one would definitely be our MBA. And why it's popular is because it is a 2-year course that's only 12 units. And so in each trimester, the student just needs to study 2 subjects, which gives them a lot of flexibility. We also have a range of 7 specializations as part of our MBA, specializations ranging from project management, health services management, digital management, and so on. And so the MBA is not just for business graduates. It's basically for any student that wishes to study. We have so many engineering students that come in and opt for MBA project management, so many nursing and pharmaceutical students that come in and opt for MBA health services. So yes, we do get a lot of business graduates, but we do get students from all disciplines opting for our MBA. And then, of course, the way we teach the MBA itself, it's extremely practical because we believe that when you're studying a degree, it needs to be useful for you when you progress in your career, right? And obviously in the workplace, there are no final exams. And so very similar to that in our MBA program as well, there are no final exams. The way we teach our students is through very practical modes, such as research and case studies, videos, even PowerPoint presentations, even games, because there are so many different ways in which a student can grasp a concept, right? So we try to keep it as practical as possible so that the transition between study and work is then easier for the student. So definitely the MBA, the most popular course at Kaplan Business School. And why students need to opt for T3? I guess it's a good option for students that don't want to wait all the way until next year, March. They wish to start their studies sooner rather than later. And so T3 is a really good option for them, especially, if they don't want to delay their study, I guess.
Okay. So how about these frequently asked questions? Are there any scholarships available and how can students apply for this scholarship?
Okay, I'll touch on our 3 most popular scholarships at this point. The first one is called the Regional Scholarship. It's not just for our regional campuses. It's basically across all our campuses, this scholarship is available. It's a merit-based scholarship, and as long as a student has achieved a certain academic score in their overseas degree or their previous completed qualification, so it could be an Australian qualification as well, they could be eligible for a 10% regional scholarship. So the requirement is usually about a 65% average. In overseas study. We also take into mind the section of the university the student has completed the qualification from. The second popular scholarship that we have is called the High Achiever Scholarship. As the name suggests, high achiever. So basically any student that has a very high academic score, we usually say it's about 90% equivalent. They can definitely apply for the High Achiever Scholarship. It's a 30% scholarship for the student. And again, all these scholarships are for the total course of the student. And the most recent scholarship that we introduced, it's called the Primary Healthcare Leadership Scholarship. Now, why we introduced the scholarship is, I guess, because we can all agree that health workers have been the true heroes during this time. They have put themselves at the front line at risk just to keep their community safe. And so we value that contribution at Kaplan Business School. So any student that wishes to apply for our MBA course specializing in health services management and can show work experience as a frontline health worker during the pandemic, and of course meets the academic and English entry requirement into the MBA program, they could be eligible for a 50% primary healthcare leadership scholarship. So those are the three main ones: the regional scholarship, 10%, the high achievers, 30%, and then the primary healthcare leadership scholarship, 50%.
Wow, this is so interesting and good news for our health workers. Are there any terms and conditions for this scholarship? And is this limited, or do you have number of students who can apply for this?
Okay, so the conditions for the scholarships are basically the eligibility criteria. So once a student is granted the scholarship, the student gets to keep the scholarship for the entire duration. In terms of whether there are quotas or whether there's a limitation for the primary healthcare leadership scholarship, this scholarship is only available for T3 and T1 of next year, which is November intake and March intake of next year. But the regional scholarship and high achievers are ongoing scholarships, so there's no restriction on that.
Okay, so students, please take note on that. Yeah. So are there any changes to admission process and English requirements in the current situation?
The admissions requirements, I guess, we have shown a little bit of flexibility when it comes to, for instance, the turnaround time. So the admissions process it much quicker than before. So usually our turnaround time is about 24 to 48 hours. In terms of the English requirements, we do have an online placement test for any student that's in Australia. So basically for onshore students, because for instance, if they couldn't take the IELTS or PTE or TOEFL, we have something known as the KITE test, which is our online placement test. So basically students can just give the KITE test and it's marked by the academic team. And if they are eligible, then, that's English entry met. And the test is free of charge. So it's just our way of assessing a student's English language ability. And the test is very similar to, say, a PTE test. But of course, it's Kaplan issued.
Okay. So how about the financial support or flexible payment plans or health and well-being assistance offered to students who have been impacted by COVID-19?
Right. Those are very important questions, definitely for students. In terms of flexibility for payment plans, we are allowing students to make an initial payment of $2,500 to accept their offers and get the COE, and then the outstanding tuition payment can be paid closer to orientation in November. So any student, for instance, now approaches us and says, hey, I'm looking for admission in the November intake. They can accept their offer with just $2,500 as the payment, get the COE, and then, of course, they have time until November to organize the outstanding tuition payment. And for November, for instance, it's just 2 subjects across all courses. That's the full-time study load for all students. it's only 2 subjects. So the financial burden, I guess, also for students is then reduced because they're just making 2 subjects payment as opposed to 3, which is the normal study load. In terms of COVID relief, we introduced a financial support package in July, a $5 million package, which we gave to all new students commencing in July and current students as well. We are currently reviewing our package for T3, and we will definitely make an announcement very shortly with regards to what we can offer students for T3.
Okay, so do you have additional information that I forgot to ask?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, you did ask the question around support, mental and well-being support for students. And so I just want to touch upon, because that's really important, I think. I mean, we sometimes underestimate how important it is, especially during this time when students are just, for instance, in Melbourne, they've been just at home, can't even go out very much because of the lockdown situation. It can definitely impact. And so we do have a counselor on each of our campuses. And these are professional counselors. I would strongly encourage any student that just wishes to talk to someone. There are counselors that you can, get in touch with, and hopefully, they can help you through this process. I guess at Kaplan, our focus has always been student support. That's something we constantly are telling our students. That's our promise to our students, that when you come to Kaplan Business School, we will sort of take care of you. We will support you in the best way we can, whether it's academic support, whether it's career support, whether it's taking care of your mental health and well-being. And so I guess we will continue to do that even during this time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Neha, for your time. And to all our viewers who are interested about any Kaplan Business School courses, kindly meet us online and visit our virtual office at aeccglobal.com.au from Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
AECC will be hosting its very first Global Virtual Education Fair on Friday, 16th of October. This is a unique opportunity to explore all your study options here in Australia. Find out more about the latest migration updates and engage with us in live one-on-one conversations, all from the comfort of your home. We will be here to help you map out the study and PR pathway best suited for you. So come and join us at the AECC Global Virtual Education Fair. Please remember the date, 16th of October. Register now, get your game face on, and see you soon virtually.